welcome to today's session. This is Sweta Roy, your English Master Teacher at Vedantu. And today we are going to start with the very first chapter from your NCERT textbook, which is A Letter to God. And this story is my personal favorite because it gives us a really wonderful message, guys. So let us move ahead with this amazing story with a beautiful message. Before starting off with this session, let me talk about online education which we are providing to all of you, my lovely students. So yes, we have made a survey. We have already conducted a survey, and we have tried to identify the problem areas in your education. So say yes if you agree with me about the problem areas. The problems which you face: doubts, notes, tests and assignments, competitive exams, choice of schedule, choice of language. You do face doubts, you do face problems in these areas, right? Agreed? Yes or no, guys? Tell me. Okay. So we have also come up with the solution. We've not just left, identified your doubts and left it like that. We have come up with the solution as well. So all the problems are solved. Doubts no more remaining with you. All doubts will be solved. That is an assurance. And you are going to get personalized attention in the classes. Notes, you're going to get the teacher's handwritten notes. Tests and assignments, problem solved. We are conducting tests and assignments as well. Competitive exams, we'll make you ready for that as well. Choice of schedule, according to your convenience. We are going to give you time slots, and you can choose your time schedule, slot according to your convenience. Choice of language, again we have come up with Hindi medium as well as English medium. So medium of instruction according to your convenience. So guys, but there is also something extra for you. Not just your problems have been solved, but there is something extra for you as well. So let us see what is that. We have unlimited live classes, micro course, crash course, and of course the tests that we conduct. We also provide you with the performance reports, right? So according to that performance report, you can assess yourself, analyze your stronger areas as well as the areas where you need to work on, right? And also of course we are going to give you personalized attention in class. So of course your doubts will be absolutely solved. Okay, moving ahead, what you need to do is, now we have already done our part. Now it is your part. So what is your part, guys? Just need to visit the link vdnt.in/ytpro and choose your grade, choose your board, check out the details, click on get subscription. So you have three types of subscription: 1 month, 3 months, 6 months. Whatever you are convenient in, whatever is suitable to you, you are you are absolutely free to choose that. Monetary or like financially speaking, definitely 6 months is going to be beneficial for you, because when you are paying at bulk, you are paying less. So you are very good at calculation, better than me, so you can definitely calculate. And after the reduction of coupon, after reducing, like after getting the discount, after applying the coupon code, obviously you will get a great discount. So that will be beneficial. But of course, if you are not very certain about the 6 month subscription, you can avail the 3 month subscription or 1 month subscription. That is completely on you. And you can look at the price before and after the application of the coupon code, right? So just visit vdnt.in/ytpro, enter the coupon code SWRPRO. That is me, Sweta Roy Pro. And now we are going to start off with beautiful lesson, beautiful chapter, A Letter to God with me, Sweta Ma'am. So let's move ahead with A Letter to God by Fuentes, right? Gregorio Lopez Y. Fuentes, that is his full name. And let us first study a little bit about the author, know a little bit about the author who has written this beautiful story, heart-touching story with a powerful message. He was a Mexican novelist, poet, and journalist, and he was one of the leading chroniclers of the Mexican Revolution. Lopez, and yes, he started writing at the age of 15, guys. So You can be really inspired by him and you can also give it a shot, right? Those of you, I'm sure many of us over here are, creative writers, right? So you can also give it a shot because see, this author, he started writing at the age of 15, right? When the Mexican Revolution began. And many of the books that he has written are related to the civil conflict. So we are going to begin this chapter with a beautiful quote from Matthew, that is from the Bible. And the quote says, he replied, he as in God, right? He replied, because you have so little faith. Truly I tell you, if you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, move from here to there, and it will move. Nothing will be impossible for you. That is, your faith can move even mountains. Maybe it is as little, as small as a mustard seed, but it can move something as great as mountains. So that is the power of faith. That is the quote taken from the Bible, Matthew 17:20. Right? Okay. So, beginning with the story is set in the 1920s, shortly after the end of the Mexican Revolution. As I told you, this author is, he started writing when there was this Mexican Revolution going on. And this story is likely settled in the southern part of Mexico. So, this is all about the setting. Now, let us summarize the story and let us see exactly what happened in the story. Right? So, now the main character in this story is Lencho. And Lencho is a farmer. And he is living with his family. He has his wife, his daughters, and sons. And what does he do? Obviously, for survival, he is farming, right? And the story from the very beginning shows how the life of a farmer is completely dependent on nature, because Lencho, when he looks at his crops, he can see the flowers coming up, which gives him assurance. That assurance of what? Assurance of good harvest with a little bit of rainfall. Even a drizzle would do, or even if it rains a little heavily, that would be amazing. That would absolutely be very good for his harvest, right? So this definitely tells us that farmers like Lencho, it is essential like how dependent farmers are on the natural calamities, not natural calamities, I'm sorry, how the farmers are dependent on nature. So if Mother Nature is furious, it may cause disaster. If Mother Nature is kind and benevolent, it is going to cause beautiful. It's going to cause great harvest, and definitely they are going to get, prosper based on the harvest that they are going to gain, right? So Lencho, from the very beginning of the story, is trying to look for the signs of rainfall. If you read the story, you will find from the very beginning, he's trying to find out whether there is going to be a good rain. He's trying to look for the signs of rainfall, right? And he also goes and tells his wife a good rain would be good enough for the crops, and surely it would rain. And his wife also replies in affirmative that yes, if God is willing, definitely we would have, rain. And there is a question, guys. How did nature play a crucial role in Lencho's life? So, yes, I want the answer from you all. And God, he blessed Lencho, and his wish was granted, and it started to rain. He could see mountains of cloud. He felt the pleasure of rain, and he was so overjoyed. He was so happy because now he was sure, he was certain about getting a good harvest. And he compared the raindrops to new coins. This is a very important question, guys. Why does he compare the raindrops to new coins? Because, see, farmers are dependent on their survival on the rainfall. if it rains good, if it rains well, then they are going to have, Lencho is going to have a good harvest, and that is how he is, he's going to make his two ends meet and also feed his family. So therefore, his prosperity was completely dependent on rainfall. Therefore, he compared the small droplets into 5 cents and larger drops of rain into 10-cent pieces. So, question for you guys. Just now I discussed this. So why did Lencho compare the raindrops to coins? Very important. However, what happened when the rain was falling, everyone was enjoying. The boys, they also started to, enjoy, and Lencho was also overjoyed. However, suddenly situation altered. What happens? What happened? Immediately, the raindrops started to, convert themselves into hailstones, right? And strong winds started to blow, and all the crops. Initially, it was light hailstones, but suddenly, suddenly, what happened? This hailstones became very bad, very harsh, and it was this hailstones were covered. It destroyed all the crops, right? And the situation was completely altered, and it was uh, yes, and the crops were destroyed, and he compares the destruction caused by the hailstorm is over here compared even greater than the destruction caused by a swarm of locusts, right? Now, locusts, they are the insects which, come in groups and they completely destroy the crops. Recently, there was, a storm of locusts did come, right? I think which part, I forgot, I guess, East UP, Bihar, that side, I guess, yes. So that side, there was this locust recently. There was the incident of this locust, right? So they cause huge destruction. But Lencho here says that the destruction which had been caused by this storm, this hailstorm, was even more than the swarm of locusts. And question for you: what happened following the hailstorm? So Lencho definitely was devastated. However, Lencho was a man. From here, we come to be entered into the characteristic feature of Lencho. Lencho, however, though he was devastated because he was hopeless now, right? I should not say that. I should not actually say the word hopeless, because he had one hope, that was faith in God. He had tremendous hope in God, tremendous faith in God, and that is why, though he was completely destroyed, he was devastated. His crops were completely destroyed. It was, absolutely white. His crops turned absolutely white. There was not even a flower left on uh, any of the branch, right, of the trees. And however, Lencho said that God sees everything, and he would never allow anyone to go hungry. So, even in this condition, from where is he deriving his strength? He is deriving his strength from God. He says God is omnipotent, omnipresent, omniscient. When even what whenever we say anything in our conscience, God is there to listen to us, listen to whatever we say, even in one's conscience. So he can say everything, and he will never allow any of his child to die in hunger. That was the tremendous faith that Lencho had in God. So guys, now let me take you back to the title of the story. The title of the story is Letter to God. What do you think, guys? Have you ever written a letter to God? Now, the reading of the title arouses an curiosity in our mind. How can someone write letter to God? Right? Have you ever written a letter to God? Do comment on the comment section. If yes, why? And if no, why? Well, I have never written letter to God. So we do not write letter to God because we have somewhere or the other in our mind, we have this element of doubt. What is that element of doubt? Doubt in the existence of God. And that is why we never think about writing a letter to someone like God, whom we even, that is why because we doubt in the existence of God, which Lencho did not. So what did Lencho do? First of all, yes, Lencho was a very hard-working man, and it is mentioned over here that he's an ox of a man. Ox of a man is hard-working man. And however, he knew how to write. He was a farmer, but he was not illiterate. He knew how to write. Now let us see what Lencho does. Question for you guys: what is meant by ox of a man? So Lencho, he was an ardent believer in God, and he writes a letter to God, something which we cannot even think of. What does he write in the letter? He asks letter to give him money, right? He asks him for 100 pesos. And he wrote to God on the envelope, and he placed a stamp on the letter, and he even posted that letter he dropped that letter into the mailbox. Even if we write a letter to someone like, someone who is non-existent, do we ever have the courage to go and post the letter? Of course not. We would never post it. Even if we manage to write the letter somehow, we would never post it. Why? Again, that element of doubt in us. Lencho, however, was an ardent believer, and this incident of writing of that letter proves the fact. And one of the employees, who was a postman, he he saw the letter for the first time. He, however, did not read the letter. He was the one who saw the letter, and he saw that on the envelope it was mentioned to God. And when the moment he saw that letter and saw that writing to God, he bursted out laughing, right? And he went to his office, right? And he showed his boss, right, who was the postman, and he showed him the letter to God. So, question is, why did the postman laugh? The postmaster was the boss, the employer. He initially he also started to laugh. Normally, obviously, that is normal human reaction. If somebody would give something that like that to you, show something like that to you, you would also initial reaction would also be to laugh, definitely. So the postman did not know that address of God. So therefore he was laughing, and he also showed that to his employer, right? And what did the postmaster do? The postmaster, after initially laughing, however, became serious. And what did he do? He thought, he said, what tremendous faith this man is having to try to make a communication with God, to try to make a correspondence with God. So he became serious, and he also wanted to inculcate that faith in him. Therefore, he did something interesting. What did he do? He asked the help of his colleagues, and he collected, some amount so that he could help Lencho, and also he did not want to shake the faith of Lencho, who was an ardent believer of God. And he collected 70 pesos, put the money in an envelope, and addressed Lencho. And what did he write on the envelope? Only he signed as God. Now, why did he sign as God? Obviously, because he wanted Lencho, to believe that this is in reply to the letter that he had sent to God. That means this letter is coming from God. This letter is the reply to the letter that he had sent. That is why he had signed God. Lencho visited the post office next Sunday, and he was early this time. Why? Again, exhibiting his faith. That is why he reached early, because he knew that he is going to get a reply. How could he be so sure? How could he be so certain? Again, faith in God. The postman gave him the envelope. However, when Lencho opened the envelope and he counted the money, he saw that it was only 70 pesos instead of the 100 pesos that he had demanded. Lencho now became very angry. Question for you guys. Why did Lencho become angry? Lencho went up to the window and then, in an anger, first of all, he replied to the letter. He again wrote a second letter. And what did he write? That what of the money that I had asked you, you have only sent 70 pesos. Please send me the rest because I need the rest urgently. But do not send me through the post office employees because they are a bunch of crooks, right? So this is how the story ends. Now, what is important over here? Obviously, when yes, I forgot to mention one thing. When the postmaster, saw that letter again, the second letter, he was expecting something. Now, suppose you are in place of the postmaster and you see the second letter coming from Lencho. After you have helped him collecting 70 pesos, trying not to destroy his faith, not to shake his faith, what would you expect? Definitely a letter of gratitude. However, there is a difference between his expectation and reality. The reality is what? Lencho, what did he do? He blamed those very people who had helped them to not to shake his faith, to maintain his faith, to keep his faith intact in God. He was blaming those people, and he considered them as bunch of crooks, bunch of cheats, right? So that is the irony with which the story ends. Question for you. What is the irony of the story? Now, the theme of the story is very important, guys. Theme over here is, first of all, definitely it shows Lencho's ardent faith in God. So Lencho definitely had tremendous faith in God. However, somehow he lacked faith in humanity, and that is seen from the ending of the story. How he blamed. He never actually tried to go and search for the person who had actually sent him that money. Why didn't he go and search for that person? Because he was absolutely 100% certain that it was God who was sending him that money. So he felt no need of actually trying to go and search for any person, right? And however, he lacked faith in humanity and he tried to blame those very people who had helped him, right? So Lencho is over here deriving faith from God. He is having faith in God and he is deriving his strength from that faith. Otherwise, a man who has lost everything would have been devastated, would have been broken, right? But he was not broken. How and why he was not broken? Because he had this strength from his faith. We can understand that his faith had no logic because you know you can it is open to multiple level of interpretation. Some men think that Lencho is gullible, Lencho is stupid, right? So according to me, what I think is, what we need to take from Lencho is the tremendous faith that he had in God. And definitely, if you try to empathize with such people as Lencho, right, such a man as Lencho, he was completely dependent. He is a fatalistic person. He's completely dependent on nature. So nature is again, an element of God. So definitely, directly or indirectly, he has this connection with God. So he had no other options but to depend on his faith, right? So that is one more. And second is, he had the innocence of a farmer. He had that innocence. He had an innocence like that of a child. When we are children, we actually believe very easily in fairy tales. We believe in God. We believe in everything that is told to us. Similarly, Lencho had that kind of gullibility, and it is this gullibility that brings children closer to divinity, that makes children go closer to divinity. Similarly, Lencho also had that gullibility which made him, close to divinity. As and when children grow up, they are actually detached from that bond of, love, bond of faith that they had when they were young, right? And also regarding the postmaster, important thing is that the postmaster did everything, right? However, he did not get anything in return. Moreover, he got something, like he got the blame of being a crook, right? He became misunderstood as a bunch of crook. So if you are like that, so suppose if you are, in place of a postmaster, and if you do something for a person like Lencho, and in return you get this, what would be your response? Would you, for the second time, try to help someone in need, or would you think that no, I have already done this for a person, and he did not give me a good return, or he blamed me of being a crook, so why should I help someone else? So please post your reaction, please post your comments, please leave your comments in the comment section, right? Message of the story. So the story teaches us that if a man has unwavering faith in God, he can achieve anything. So definitely he got that 70 pesos, and he got, the most important thing is the strength. Otherwise he would have really been shattered because of the destruction that was caused by the hailstorm. That would have left him completely shattered if he did not have the strength which came from his ardent faith in God. And if we, and definitely, uh, lent if the postmaster, uh, maybe he is not the God, but definitely he can be considered as the messenger of God. So God acts in mysterious ways, right? We need to have faith in him. Here he acted through the postmaster, right? He sent postmaster as if, as his messenger. So God is present in each one of us. We do not have to seek someone invisible. We just need to have faith, and definitely God is present in each one of us. It is present in your, maybe in a friend who helps you in your difficult time, or maybe your parents who shower unconditional love on you, or maybe your teacher who support you, who guide you without expecting anything in return, right? So there is God present in all of us, each of us, and he exists through our deeds that we do, the good deeds that we do. So that was the story, guys, and we are going to end the story with a beautiful quote again. Do everything with a good heart and expect nothing in return, and you will never be disappointed. So I think this is true for the postmaster as well, and it goes for the question that I asked you. What would you have done if you were in the place of postmaster? Well, if I was in the place of postmaster, definitely I would not have been disappointed, even if I would have been, tagged as a cheat, a crook, whatever it is. I would never, stop myself from helping someone in need just because I was betrayed by someone else whom I helped, right? So whenever we help someone, we should not expect anything in return. If we are expecting anything in return, then that is not help. That becomes a business, right? That becomes a give and take policy, right? So with that, we are going to end this beautiful lesson, and definitely in the next session, on this very chapter, we are going to deal with important question answers. So do not miss the next session, guys. Right? Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and also you carried the wonderful message which is conveyed through the beautiful story and a heart-touching story like this. So before you go guys, do not forget to choose your grade, choose your board, check out the details, click on get subscription, and you have three types of subscription. Remember, 1 month, 3 months, 6 months. Just need to visit vdnt.in/ytpro and use the coupon code SWRPRO. Thank you so much for watching. Do not forget to hit the like button and do subscribe. So this is a new channel guys. We need your help. We need your support, right? So do subscribe to this channel, and if you have liked the video, if you think this was helpful to you, do hit the like button as well. Thank you guys for watching. Take care. Bye bye.